Studio Bones has done something that I thought was impossible for the longest time, and that's make the final arc of My Hero Academia actually enjoyable and watchable. What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, if you're new here, or if you're not, if you've been around for a while, you know that I just did not like the final war in My Hero Academia. I thought the pacing was bad. I thought while the art was amazing, like pretty much the entire stretch of the final war arc, like the story, in my opinion, was lacking. I didn't like the story decisions that Horikoshi was making at the end. I thought it kind of like betrayed what My Hero Academia was all about for like the whole series, and like it kind of felt like he threw a lot of like what made characters like Deku so great away, like to just create hype moments and like good like chapter cliffhangers. But that's neither here nor there. The Bones has done something truly commendable, and that's make this final arc actually good. Now, when I first saw the first trailer for season 7, I thought this was going to be the same rodeo as season 6, where they were probably just going to like butcher the war and maybe like have the final half good. Like, because season 6, the first war is like, if you look at it from like an adaptation perspective, it's dreadful. And then like the Dark Deku arc is actually good in terms of animation quality and stuff like that. But season 7 is actually great the whole way through. I was actually surprised. When I first when I turned on season 7 for the first time and I saw that Stars and Stripes actually was good. I did not think that fight was going to be good. Well, I had a feeling it was probably going to be good because it was the first fight of the season, and Bones is known for like first episodes like always like being some of the best that they've done. So I knew that was going to be good. But dog, what shocked me was how good like Deku and Aoyama was. I was not expecting that at all. Like Deku versus Aoyama is good in the manga, but in the anime, they kind of like heightened the emotion for it for me. Like that was something I didn't really care about in the manga because like the trainer was like thrown to the wayside for so long and only got brought back at the end. So like the fact that like the anime was able to like actually bring emotion out of me from that like whole confrontation, very commendable, Bones. Very commendable. Like that just shows that's one key reason why like Bones like is able to elevate the material. Like they're taking the medium like that they're in finally, and they're using it to like heighten the material. Like it's great. Like they hadn't been doing that for so long. It's like they finally realized, oh wait, we're an anime. We can heighten the material. Let's get some good OST. Let's get some good direction choices, and here we go. We're off to the races. Now, after that, the season does kind of stall for a little bit because you know like it's they're covering like the beginning material of the war, which I thought was some of the worst parts as well. But then we get our first big like wow moment, I feel like, and that's with like Dabi and Shoto. Dabi and Shoto, like what the decisions that they were making in that episode in terms of like the directing, the compositing, like the OST choices, like the fact that when Shoto goes for his Eiger attack and he connects it, and like the impact frame is them as kids, like that is so good, bro. The fact that they did that, I loved that shit. Like that's another moment that's heightened from the manga. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that. Like, sure, there are some like weird shots because like that sometimes the anime just can't replicate it. But dog, like Deku vs Shoto was the episode that really made me realize, okay, season 7 is going to be different. Season 7 is going to like do some surgical work here and probably fix up the final arc for me. Like then we fast forward a little bit. I don't care about Jiro and Tokoyami shit. I really could care less about that. Like, that's still something they couldn't fix for me. Like everything, like they fixed a lot of the big shit, which I was grateful for. Like they fixed a lot of stuff with like Deku and Bakugo and Shoto and stuff like that. But everything with like Jiro and Tokoyami and especially like some other characters that we'll get into after, everything with those characters, it's the same as the manga. It's still not good. Like they're able to fix a lot of things, but the stuff that's like fundamentally bad in the season that they couldn't really fix. So you can't really fix much with Jiro and Tokoyami. I thought that was mid. You can't really fix much with you can't fix much with that. So we're moving on. And we're moving on to quite possibly one of the best showings for Bakugo. Now, Bakugo is a character that I always thought was robbed of having his own like mortal enemy type character, right? Like Deku has Shigaraki, Shoto has Dabi, uh, Uraka has Toga, which we'll get into later, and it always felt weird that Bakugo didn't have that until people like to say it was all for one. I don't believe that. I thought that was so stupid. That didn't make any sense to me. Like the fact that Bakugo didn't really have a mortal enemy was always so weird to me. Like why didn't Horikoshi give him one? So Bones kind of made up for that by making Bakugo vs Shigaraki quite possibly one of their best animated fights in all of My Hero. Like, sure, it was short. Like, Bakugo had no chance of even beating him, but like, they made the animation look so good. Like, even him just walking up to fight Shigaraki looked amazing. That was some of the best shit just that walking animation that they did was better than like half of the first half of season 6. I'm being so dead ass when I say that. Oh my god. And then like, bro, his sacrifice was actually so well made. Like I think they made it better than the manga. Because like the manga it was kind of quick. The anime, dog, they made the choice where Deku or not where Deku, where Bakugo was talking to All for One's Vestige, like in this like spirit world thing, you can hear like his heartbeat, like as he's talking to All Might, and like you can hear it getting louder and louder. And then when it crescendos, it's his heart exploding. Like that was such a good choice to do that. I thought that was so impactful because I didn't think we were gonna get anything like that. Like I had a feeling Bones would go hard for Bakugo, but like I didn't expect that. And then like they show him like dead on the ground, and I actually felt something. Even though I know what's gonna happen in the future and it's bullshit, I still felt something. Like Bones was Bones was doing surgical work, like fixing this material for me, bro. Because like the fact that I actually felt something for Bakugo's fake out death shows that they're taking this season seriously and that like they're pulling out all the stops. Because I know what happens. I know what happens next, and I still don't like it. I still don't like it to this day. But bro, this is still fire. And then, bro, episode 13 comes. I still think episode 13 is the best episode of the season. I know we've had like great moments after this, but I still think episode 13 is the best episode of the season. And that's Deku vs Shigaraki. Like, I did not give a shit about Deku vs Shigaraki in the manga, bro. Like, yes, the art looked great every time through it, but like, dog, in the manga, like, it's not that good. The only good parts of that fight are from this episode. And this episode fucking delivered, bro. This episode delivered fight of the fucking season for me, bro. Dude, even though like there were some questionable animation moments, like questions like with quintuple, I don't care. It was still peak. Like, it's just so good, man. Like, I can't even talk because of how great that fight is for me. Like, oh my god. The only thing I didn't like about that fight, like after Deku like gets that punch through, like they remind me of why I don't like this season, and that's with like the vestiges and shit. Like the vestiges of All for One or of One for All, I still fucking hate. I still think they all have no fucking personality, no fucking character traits. I still think they all fucking suck. Like, even though the fight is great, I'm reminded how much I hate the fucking One for All Vestiges, because the fight just makes Deku look like a puppet in some cases, and like the season 7 can't really fix that. Like, Deku was pretty much treated as a puppet from this point going forward by the One for All Vestiges, and that's something they can't really fix. But yeah, the One for All Vestiges suck. I hated like getting All for One's like fucking 4-minute flashback after the fight. Like, I don't give a shit about All for One. I don't care. All for One is one of the worst characters ever introduced, dog. Like, no. But episode 13 is still great. Still the best. What else can we talk about? How else did Bones fucking save this material? We're skipping over Spinner. I don't care. Spinner fucking sucks. The Spinner part of this arc is so bad, bro. I don't care. It's bad. The only good thing you get is the Shoji impact frame. That's it. Everything else surrounding that is terrible. Do not ask me to talk about it. I will never talk about that arc. That section of the arc. That is fucking dreadful. It was bad in the manga. It's even worse in the anime, except for that one impact frame. We're just gonna keep it moving. What else can we talk about? That was good. One thing I want to skip. We're fucking skipping over Toga because I know what fucking happens at the end of the series, and I don't want to talk about Toga. The Toga stuff makes me mad. I hate what happens with Toga at the end of the series, so we're just gonna skip that. We're gonna skip Toga, even though the Toga stuff looked great. We're gonna fucking skip it because that shit makes me mad, and I don't want to talk about it. What else can we talk about? What was like the best moment? I feel like everybody's gonna talk about like the Shoto and his family stuff. That was like the best episode. That might have been the best animated episode of this season. Everything with Shoto and his family and Dabi. That was definitely the best animated episode of the season. But the one that I didn't expect to hit me was the finale episode. So we're pretty much just going to go right to the end. The one I didn't expect to hit me was Iron Might. Because Iron Might is something that I just fundamentally disagreed with. Like, I fucking hated the story decision. Because I always thought All Might, like, should have died at Kamino. I don't care, dog. I'm going to get into it. I think if All Might had died at Kamino, I think it would have helped I think it would have been good for the overall story. I know people are going to say, like, you're dumb, no, dislike. But I personally do think it could have been good for the story of My Hero, because it would have resulted in so much character growth for all the characters. Like, Deku could have grown from that. Bakugo could have grown from that. The villains could have been affected. Like, Shigaraki could have been affected. Like, there's so many avenues that could have opened up in the story if All Might died. But the fact that he didn't, and he's still around, and we got Iron Might, it just sucked. I didn't like Iron Might. Sue me. I didn't like it. But in the anime, I'll give them this. They actually made it look pretty cool in the anime. When they got him running and he's calling out all of his students' attacks, like to that beautiful OST, like showing how much his students have made an impact on him just as much as he's made an impact on them. I thought that was nice. I thought that was really beautiful, and I thought that was a really good way to close out the season. But let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel overall about My Hero Season 7? Do you guys think similar to me that this is probably like the best season that they've made in terms of like a production standpoint, and like it kind of saved the material? Or do you guys think differently and you always thought the Season 7 material was good? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because I would love to hear more different viewpoints about this. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.